Everybody knows the famous halacha with regards to Sefirat Omer, that if your friend asks you, Ben Hashmashot, after Shki'ah, what day is it for the Omer? Everybody knows that you should not answer him, today is such and such for the Omer, because then you would not be able to count the Omer anymore with the Beracha, because we're concerned for the opinion that says, mitzvot en tzrichot kavanah, mitzvot do not require intention, and you already counted, so that night you lose the Beracha. That's why the minhag has become in Am Yisrael, when somebody asks you, what's tonight's Sefirah? You always answer, yesterday was kach v'kach. That's what everybody knows. What people fail to realize is that this halakha in Shulchan Aruch and Siman Taf Petet applies only during the first 6 days of Sefirat HaOmer. Only the first 6 days. Why? Here we go. The other 43 days of Sefirat HaOmer, you can answer. What's different about the first 6 days from the other 43 is that the first 6 days don't have a week, which means that if somebody comes to you the first 6 days and says, what's the Omer? And you say, Hayom, Yom Echad, or Shnei Yamim LaOmer, you just finished the whole counting. Whereas, if let's say last night, somebody came over to you. Last night was 17. Somebody comes over to you, and somebody asks you, what's tonight for the Omer? Even if you tell him, Hayom Shiv'a Asar Yom LaOmer, you didn't finish the counting. According to many poskim, you're only yotzei the mitzvah of counting the Omer when you count the weeks as well. Since you didn't tell him the weeks, there's a safek smekah, which allows you to continue counting even that night with a beracha. Another less known halacha is if somebody comes to you and asks you, even during the first 6 days, what's tonight's counting of the Omer? And all you say is, let's say it's 5. You say 5. What's 5? 5 is not a counting. 5 is a number. Therefore, if you didn't say Hayom kach v'kach la'omer, you would still not be yotzei, and even for that night, you'd be able to count with the beracha. Another way, you'd be able to say, let's say somebody came to me last night. Somebody came to me and asked me, what's tonight's counting? And he asks me, and I think to myself, I'm having specific kavanah not to be yotzei by answering this question. And I tell him, Hayom Shiv'a Asar Yom LaOmer, Shehem Shnei Shavuot U'Shlosha Yamim. What's the halacha? Perfect. You can count afterwards with the beracha as well. Since I had negative kavanah not to be yotzei, I'm still able to count that night with the beracha. So, although everybody knows the famous minhag is to say, yesterday was kach v'kach, there's plenty of ways you can say even tonight's counting and still be able to count the Omer with the beracha, even answering the guy's question. Yom Tov.